Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, February 1st, 2019. Live sports decoding for today. Let's just start off with a little review. Games we looked at yesterday. We looked at the Mavericks and the Pistons, and we thought more lined up in the Mavericks' corner, but we did warn that the Pistons could get that 22nd home win, and Dallas equals 22. And that is what ended up happening. Pacers and Magic, we liked the Magic because they had the sacred geometry riddle. It was the 108th day of the season. Geometry equals 108. One of the most important numbers in sacred geometry, 61. Pacers stayed at 61 wins in the series. Magic got their 47th. And Amway Center, where the game was, had Gematria 61-47. So we had a good read on the Magic following the geometry riddle. We favored the Bucks to beat the Raptors. They had the better numbers. They had the overall series record that went with the date numerology. That prevailed. One of our dedicated followers, he liked the Raptors improving to 22-4 at home because Toronto Raptors equals 224. It was a good read. It made it a little bit trickier, but with the traditional things that we go with, the records and how they align with the date numerology, again, that's what plays more often than not, and that's what played here with the Bucks too. That's why, you know, some of these a little bit more exotic riddles, you know, I'd stick to the traditional. Date numerology, records, it's going to prevail more often than not. Spurs had the good number to beat the Nets. Pretty close game, though. But the Spurs had the strong numbers to beat the Nets. That happened. And like we said with the Warriors own the number 108. But if there was ever a day that they were going to lose on that number, it was yesterday. A lot of callers had a great decode, great observations. The game was on TNT. TNT equals 18, so does upset. The 76ers stayed at 18 losses. The Warriors stayed at 18 home wins. It was also observed, and understand, typically when you're looking at games and head-to-head, you just want to look at the regular season record. It's usually more important than the overall record, but sometimes there's an exception to that. And it was pointed out that if the 76ers beat the Warriors yesterday, they'd have 187 wins all time against the Warriors, pushing the Warriors to 18-7. And that happened. So congrats to those of you who made that pick. I hope I didn't take some of you off the money line because I said I'd go with the points instead of the money line because I just never seen the Warriors lose on 108. But if you took the points, you definitely won. If you took the money line, you won even more. So congrats. And then the Lakers game got screwed up because LeBron ended up playing after they said he was ruled out. And look at what they did with LeBron. They brought him back on Jackie Robinson's birthday. Sick joke. Jackie 42. We wore number 42. LeBron James 42. And there he shows up for the game. And the thing about LeBron returning, see, if we'd known LeBron was in the game, this 11 would have had more meaning. Yesterday was the 31st, the 11th prime. Remember, 11 has the strong relationship with 66. LeBron equals 66. James equals 66. LeBron equals 66. LeBron James equals 66. Lakers equals 66. When you add 1 through 11, it equals 66. LeBron returns. They get the 11th away win in the Battle of Los Angeles. And don't forget, Los Angeles is 37. And LeBron was out for a span of 37 days before this return. So that being told that LeBron wasn't going to be in the game by the mainstream headlines sent us south there. And sometimes that's going to happen. But it's really weird that they did that. You know, you think they'd be marketing LeBron's return instead of keeping it quiet. And maybe it's because we're out here. I probably would have had a video up about bringing number 42 back on Jackie's birthday. Okay, let's look at the NHL games too, because we looked at those yesterday. We thought Philadelphia had a really strong riddle yesterday. It was the 121st day of the season. Revelation equals 121. Philly's named from Revelation. We pointed out the Flyers could get their 22nd win over Boston. Boston 22, they did. And they also had in the head-to-head record a number that lined up with the date numerology. So Philadelphia had a fantastic alignment yesterday. You know, the kind of alignment that breeds a lot of confidence. And they did prevail. They won. Now, the New Jersey Devils had a good alignment yesterday, too. They were going for their 20th win and 71st series win on a 71 date numerology. 71's the 20th prime, plus Devils equals 71. And they didn't get it. So I don't think it was a bad pick to go for the Devils. I mean, they had a great alignment, but it did not prevail. And sometimes that's going to happen. So this week in hockey and strong reads, we are, well, yeah, I'll count this as a strong read. We're 4 for 6. 4 for 6, 66%. Not the greatest, but still a winning percentage. So, and in this game, we mentioned we didn't have the strongest read either way, but these two games had pretty good details. And the Flyers, by far, were the best read. They had 3 big ones going in their way. The standings, the overall standings between the team, the head-to-head, the date riddle, the city name. And we spent a lot of time on the games yesterday, so we didn't get to college. So let's just get on with what we're looking at for today. Hope you guys don't mind doing the review. I think it's good to review, so we know what we're looking at for the day ahead, learn from our lessons. Okay, February 1st, 2019. Again, let's look at the date numerology. It's February 1st. It's the 32nd day of the year. Always keep in mind the day count. And the other thing you can honestly keep in mind is how many days are left in the year. So today would leave, today leaves 333 days left in the year. Is that right? 333 plus 32, 365 should be right. It's the 109th day of the NBA season. Again, if a number is prime, keep in mind the prime relationship. 109 is the 29th prime number. It's the 122nd day of the NHL season. And again, prime numbers, if it's even, it's not going to be prime. There's no even number that's prime, and there's no number that ends in 5 that's prime. So today's date numerology, 42. And not only does it have a 42 date numerology, but February sums to 42. Could be a really big number today. First day of February. Today has 15 date numerology. Also 22, big basketball number, basketball 22. In the 3. We're probably not going to see a lot of 3. Other things you can keep in mind is just the way you can write the date. 1/2 is like 12. 2/1 is like 21. Just things you can think of when you look at the numbers that pull up in these games. Okay, so let's do it. Grizzlies, Hornets. And I do have the chat over here. If you guys really want to catch my eye with a message, since I'm watching out of the corner of my eye for comments, you see how Rob Jennings put at Gematria Effect Sports? That's a good way to make sure I see your comment, or more likely to see it, because I am looking at one computer monitor talking, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see the chat going over here. So if you're trying to flag my attention, I do that at Gematria Effect Sports. So I see that orange thing. I'm going to take this call real quick just in case it's somebody in the live decode who has a great observation today. What's going on, caller?
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
Hey, I just had a suggestion because I'm not sure how experienced a lot of these guys are with betting strategy.
Right.
And it's kind of hurt me on some of the calls, that we've made when you do like 2-team teasers, or you try to do a parlay or something like that, and one of the calls doesn't work out, you're screwed.
Right.
So I'm wondering, there might be some guys that have better experience than me. I'm not super experienced with the gambling, but I always like to do the teasers just because they give, if you take the points, if there's picks that you've made a call on that we really like and agree with, sometimes you're better off doing the points with the 2-team teaser or something like that, but.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is maybe, looks like from how things are going, if we're just better off like betting on each like individual game rather than like trying to do parlays or 2-team teasers, because like I said, if one of those doesn't work out, you're screwed.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's better to be conservative unless we got some games that have some really strong alignments. Like the Philadelphia hockey game had a strong alignment. If you can find 2 or 3 of those games in a day that line up like that, I think that's worth putting the parlay down on. But it's absolutely a lot safer to just take the points or do a game, separate your picks, because if you go 6 for 10, which isn't the greatest, but you have 6 separate bets, you're still going to come out ahead that day. So
right, exactly.
All right.
So, yeah, so just a suggestion, because since we're doing it, right, we might as well have a strategy with the betting process as well.
Yeah, and it's, you got to think about your strategy. I mean, look at the way when you're making your picks, look at what your payouts are going to be, and figure out how you can cover yourself. Sometimes if you're nervous about a pick, you can figure out how to hedge to make sure you don't, So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Take care, man.
A little off topic, but with the Super Bowl, we're still good with the Pats. Everything.
Of course. Oh yeah, especially after the beer can yesterday. I'm gonna do a video on the Super Bowl again right after this, just so everybody's seeing that.
Okay, because I went ahead. There was another guy. I can't remember his name. I don't know if it was. What is it? I don't know if it was Sports Gematria or. He kind of got me going on the whole before the conference playoffs with the odds on the Patriots, and I went ahead and bit the bullet, man. I put a pretty good chunk of cash. So
I think you're going to do fine, man. A lot lines up for the Pats. I'll be surprised if it's not them.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, bud.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too.
Yeah, so okay, betting strategy, you got to think about the way your money's laid out. If your parlay doesn't hit, maybe take some safe individual bets so you can at least break even on the day. All right, let's get to it. Grizzlies, Hornets. So, date numerology. Are any numbers screaming out about the matchup? It doesn't look like anything is screaming out in this matchup. Charlotte's a 7-point favorite. Let's look at the head-to-head real quick. Grizzlies, Hornets. Oh, got a right head-to-head. Okay, it's going to be the 41st game. The Hornets lead 23-17. So there's nothing there with the date numerology in the series. Nothing in the head-to-head. So the only possible read here we can get is from the Gematria. I know that the Grizzlies have the connections to 25, and I'm seeing that the Hornets can get their 25th win. So that's one thing that's on the board. Oh, I should have had this already loaded so we don't have to play this game. Oh, my goodness. Remember, if you guys are having that problem, just keep reloading the screen. Memphis Grizzlies is 97, the 25th prime. We just talked about this the other day. We just saw a team pick up their 25th win over the Grizzlies. Grizzlies is also 59, the 17th prime. In that last game, the team had the chance to get their 25th overall win and 17th home. In this case, the Hornets already have that 17th home win. So not quite the same. They don't get the double alignment, but the 25's there. Memphis Grizzlies 97, the 25th prime. Let's see if that goes the other way. Hornets, Charlotte, Hornets. Come back and see what the Grizzlies got. Okay, so remember the Charlotte Hornets, we just did this with the other team too. I think it was Boston who got the 21st home win against them. 2-3-1's the 21st triangular. The Grizzlies could potentially get their 21st win on the season. So not a strong read here either way. So I'm just going to move on to the next game. I mean, if you got – well, here, we can check one more thing. The Spectrum Center, it is good to look at the stadium. Spectrum Center. No, it's not doing us any favors either. Okay, so not a strong read. You could make an argument either way. Let's look at Celtics-Knicks. So the Celtics can get their 33rd win in New York. New York's 33. That's something that's on the table right away. It's going to be the 51st game for the Knicks, the 52nd for the Celtics. huge spread. So not a good payout for the Celtics to win anyway. And even if the Knicks had a read, I would just stay off it because just the fact that the Celtics can get their 33rd, which is very likely in New York 33. Here, we can just look at the head-to-head real quick, just in case there is an upset narrative. It's probably not there. Celtics, Knicks head-to-head. Boston, 292. Wow, they lead by... Okay, so look at that. And if they win, they'll lead by 111. 111, New York's 111. So, yeah, Boston's going to get that, I would imagine. Caller?
Hello, Scott?
Yep.
Yeah, this is Billy. Observation. There's a news flash. Major trade, blockbuster trade. For Singers, most of the Knicks game players are out. So Knicks looks like they're on tank mode.
Yeah, and
so,
you know, they might be playing for Zion Williamson.
Exactly. And another observation, real quick. The previous game, you said the Memphis Grizzlies and the Charlotte.
Right.
Always notice the Charlotte are favored to win.
Right.
Last 3 games, the Charlotte have won are 3-0. So just to let you know, the last 3 games. So
the last 3. Games, wait. The last 3 games, what?
The Charlotte have won 3-0.
They're on a 3-win streak. Okay.
3-0. Yeah, so they won 3-0. So they're likely to win again, I guess. Probably, you know, but that's about it.
All right, appreciate it.
One last thing. I put the best thing when I've been betting, and the best thing if you do the betting, always do the parlays in pairs, and you can tease them. And if the spread is large, you don't have to take the stock spread. You can always tease one with the money line, so you don't have to cut the spread. So if it's like the Knicks and the Celtics, you can do the Celtics and just pick the Celtics on the money line. You don't have to pick the spread and parlay with another team. That's it. That's
a good thought. Hey, I just want to let you know that Charlotte did lose their last game. So they're on a 1-game losing streak right now.
They lost it. And something, an observation also with the Memphis, if you go to the odds chart, there's a lot of players are out. A lot of players are out, or are hurt, or out indefinitely. So for Memphis, that's it. Let me see. For me, I don't know. This is kind of iffy game.
Yeah, so. that's what I'm saying. All right, I appreciate it, man.
Right.
Thank you.
All
right, take care.
Bye.
Okay, so we can make a narrative either way with the Grizzlies and Hornets. Celtics should get that 33rd win. They're a 13-point favorite. It's not good news. And that 13-point favorite probably points to the fact that the Knicks are going for their 41st loss. 41's the 13th prime. All right, let's see. We got another call here. What's going on, caller?
Hey, Zach. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
So, yeah, man, yesterday was a good payout for that Sixers game.
Awesome.
But you know, the thing that kind of screwed me, what the NBA has been doing a lot lately, is they're resting their good players in games against teams that are weaker. So I think Boston might be doing that tonight. You know, Kyrie Irving, he's from the New Jersey area, so he might play for Boston. But I mean, it's such an easy win for Boston. I think that they might rest their players, which might give the Knicks a chance because, you know, they just made that big trade. And with that being said, you know, remember that the Knicks are on that 12-game losing streak at home and 11 overall. So maybe that could get snapped today with an upset. I don't know. Maybe I'm always looking for the upset to bet on, but you know, this is an observation that I'm taking on this game right here.
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting thought. So 12-game losing streak, not counting the one in London, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, at Madison Square Garden.
So they could also get their 13th straight, and Knicks has that Gematria 41, the 13th prime, and they're a 13-point underdog. So yeah. It is fun to find the big payout when a team's a heavy underdog, but I'll be surprised if the Celtics don't get number 33 in New York. Again, that's the New York number there. So
yeah. And then the other thing too, yesterday was, with LeBron playing at the last second, I took the Clippers, and I did a parlay on the two bets with the Sixers and the Clippers. So I lost that parlay with the first caller was talking about. That's a good little interesting thing that he said. I probably should have just took those two bets separately, but yeah, that LeBron James coming back really kind of screwed me over in that game.
Yeah, that sucked, man. Because if we knew LeBron was in, I would have been all over that 1166 thing. And
yeah, and look at that final score. Like, if LeBron James doesn't play, like, the Lakers are not winning that game. Like, plain and simple, they're not winning that game.
Well, and that's probably why they did it, because I'm sure a lot of money went towards the Clippers because they thought LeBron was out. So
yeah, and see, that's the other thing too about these sports is they know coming in like what the bets are on. So I mean, they just shift towards the other side at the last second to get the money from everybody.
Right. Yeah. So the missing LeBron piece killed us on that call yesterday. That could have been that would have been a money parlay because we would have I would have been all over the Lakers if I knew LeBron was back.
I would have won $3,000 yesterday if that would have hit.
Well, there's going to be more days. That's the good news. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll call back later.
All right. Take care, man. Yeah, the LeBron thing, man. When I heard he was back in the game, I said, God, man, you got to be kidding me putting him. Because, again, LeBron James equals 42. It was Jackie Robinson's birthday. So it's a sick joke. All right, Thunder Heat. Let's take a peek. Oh, here, before, just about that guy saying the Celtics Knicks, he's trying to look for the upset. I pointed out that if the Celtics win, they'd have a 111 margin. New York has the Gematria of 111. If the Knicks did get the upset, the margin would be 109 on the 109th day of the NBA season. That's the only thing I can see there, but 33rd win in New York, likely. All right, Thunder and Heat. Thunder and Heat. Let's check it out. Thunder and Heat head-to-head. And Harry, even before we look, let's just look at what kind of types of streaks these teams are on. The Thunder and the Heat. So this is not going to be a conference or a division. Heat are at home. All right. About the Thunder, what do they got going here? All right. Nothing screaming out at me about the date. All right, let's look at the head-to-head. Thunder, Heat, head-to-head. All right, so the Thunder up 38-22. We do have a 22-date numerology. And just again, I'm going to keep repeating myself just so these things sink in. If the Miami Heat had 21 wins today, I would like them to advance to 22. Because they're on 22 on the 22-date numerology, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay there. There's not as strong of a read that way. It's the 61st game between these teams. So if anybody has a connection to 61. Oklahoma City, if you use the rule for K, is 61. Okay. 51st game, 50th for them. Okay, so the one number that's really standing out in the records is Heat is 16 in the most pure cipher, and the Thunder, they have a chance at that 16th away win against the Heat, and they're on a 6-game winning streak right now, if I'm not mistaken. Where's my standings at? The Heat are on a 1-game losing streak. The Thunder, they are on a 6-game winning streak. So is there reason to believe that they could get 7? $16 breaks down to 7 in numerology. Just thinking about that. There's nothing strong with the date for this game. Got it, Izzy. I see your comment there about 3-0 in the head-to-head. There's nothing strong in the date numerology, but the one thing that is standing out that's on the board is the Thunder can get their 16th away win. And actually, let me check one more thing. I actually see something else, I think. Oklahoma City Thunder is 101. That's the 26th prime number. And I see that the Heat can get their 26th loss on the season too. So I think there's good cause here for the Thunder to pick up this W and get to the 7-game winning streak. Because we got an alignment in both win columns for each team. Let's go out to Atlanta.
Yeah, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, man. Are you doing the live decode right now?
Yeah, I'm in the live.
Okay.
All right. On this game right here, man, I'm thinking the last time they played the Thunder and the Heat, it was they beat them by 22. So, and they own 22. So I'm thinking it's like, and I'm thinking to make that as an observation, like when they put up the score, that dictate the next game.
Okay, and now they're playing on the. All right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's like that on and then another thing too with the 33. If you notice, like, because I notice it's 22 date numerology. So normally too, when it's like a 22 or a 44, normally if a team's going for like the 77, it don't matter. Long if it's a double number, it's all synchronicity. You see what I'm saying?
Right. What else is funny about
so
what?
A lot of 33s on the board. Boston look for 30. It's like 3 teams can get to 33. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the rep.
22 date number.
The word for that is called a rep digit, when a number is just all made up of one number. So 33 is a rep digit, 22 is. What else is funny about this Thunder Miami Heat game is the last time they played was the 109th day of the year last season. Now they're playing on the 109th day of the NBA season. So I don't think anybody had a 109 is the 29th prime. Was there a 29 connection here? Thunder. But are you agreeing then that you think the Thunder are going to pick this up?
Yeah, I'm thinking the Thunder, and I'm thinking Charlotte because I'm thinking it's like whatever they score, it kind of symbolizes for the next game. It's foreshadows sometimes. Like Memphis, I'm thinking about that too because Memphis put up when they played Charlotte, their last game they put up 107, and it's kind of like 17, the same number that they got in this head-to-head. So I'm thinking they could stay at 17, and I'm thinking Miami could stay at 22 by them losing by 22. It's kind of like symbolizing or foreshadowing the next game.
Okay, I'll go with your gut on that Hornets-Grizzlies game. I still think that one's tight. I want to make one more observation about the Grizzlies game. If the Grizzlies beat the Hornets and upset them, they'd stay at 32 losses on the 32nd day of the year. So I still think that game's tight, but, I mean, if you got a read there, by all means, go for it.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it, caller. All right, thanks. Okay, so I think the Heat have good reason, or not the Heat, excuse me. The Thunder have good reason to beat the Heat. They can get the 16th win on the road, Heat 16, and Oklahoma City Thunder's 101, the 26th prime. Heat can get that 26th loss. There's nothing in the date or overall record, but just the fact that the city names and records match up, those are usually pretty good indicators. It's nice to have some date numerology in there, but again, when the records match up both ways, that gives me a sense of confidence. All right, Hawks are in their 51st game. Just think about how the Falcons were in Super Bowl 51. It's going to be their 30th road game. And the Jazz, for the Jazz, this will be their 53rd game. Okay, 53 is the 16th prime, and I'm realizing the Jazz can get their 16th home win in their 53rd game. We just saw this pattern with last night. Last night we were talking about this with the Raptors and Bucks game. The Raptors getting their 16th loss in their 53rd game. 53, the 16th prime. So always keep your prime number relationships in mind. Jazz can get that 16th home win in the 53rd game. Let's look at the head-to-head between these teams. It's going to be the 102nd game. The Utah Jazz. Wow, it's been a tight series between these teams. It's going to be their first game this year. Let's see when they play again. Hawks, Jazz schedule. March 21st. That's the 80th day of the year. So they play again in 48 days. Atlanta equals 48. They're going to play in Atlanta 48 days later. For some gematria here real quick. Atlanta, Hawks. It is the 32nd day of the year. Atlanta Hawks is also 131, the 32nd prime. So that team has 2 connections to 32. That's interesting. Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz have the connection to 32 as well. Let's look at their streaks right now. The Jazz are on a 1-game losing streak. They just lost to the Blazers. They can get their 30th home win. Again, Utah Jazz 113, the 30th prime. Let's see what's up with the Hawks. 1-game losing streak as well. I think they just lost to the Clippers. There's not an overwhelming alignment, but the 16th win in their 53rd game, that's got rhyme and reason. And yeah, so just real quick, Issy made a point about the theory we're watching with 106. Our friend down in Atlanta, he said he's been following that 106, and it's been a good pattern. It didn't work out last night, but we're going to keep watching that pattern because there's no pattern that's perfect. We want patterns that lead us to the promised land more often than not. So I'm going to keep watching that 106 thing. It is a special number. Anyway, the Jazz are a huge favorite, so this doesn't really matter. They should pick up the win. I don't see an upset. I don't see anything that the Hawks really have in their favor. They do have a strong connection to 32, but the Jazz have it too. If they were going for their 32nd win, it would be something different. But we won't spend too much more time on that game because, again, huge spread anyway. All right, Rockets, Nuggets. Now, this is an interesting game. So, again, let me just review my date numerology. 42-15. Well, okay, in light of that Atlanta game, Atlanta is also 15. Should come back to that. The Jazz theoretically could stay on 15 wins. If you're feeling lucky, I mean, you could bank on a Hawks upset. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think they're going to get that 16th home win in the 53rd game. Okay, 42-15-22. Let's see. So the Rockets have a chance at the 22nd loss, and the Nuggets could stay on 15 losses with a win. They could also potentially stay on 22 home losses. All right, let's look at what types of streaks these teams are on. I think the Rockets just got upset by New Orleans. Yeah, they're on a 1-game losing streak. They just lost to New Orleans. So Rockets 29-21. Okay, so it's a conference game. Nothing stands out there with the numerology. All right, let's look at their head-to-head here. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up? I know that in this game, Denver's the favorite, but I just want to make a note that the last, I think it's 2 or 3 games in Denver, the Rockets have won. So that's something that I'm looking at here.
And I see the last one they won was with 109 points, and here we are on the 109th day of the NBA season.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things, too, is I play a lot of fantasy basketball, and James Harden is like one of the best players in fantasy basketball. He gets a lot of points. But one of the things is he struggled in Denver the last couple of games. He hasn't scored a bunch of points, but his team has won. I think it's 3 in a row in Denver. So that's something to keep in mind here. But, I mean, Denver is definitely the favorite. They're a better team this season. They have a good record. Their home record's pretty good. So, I mean, this one's kind of 50-50 too.
What's funny is 2 of the last 3 they've won in Denver, they won with 109 points. And here we are on the 109th day of the NBA season. That is something.
Huh, so maybe they lose on the 109th day. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm just looking here. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. They've won 4 straight at Denver.
4 straight in Denver?
Uh-huh. Yep, 4 straight.
Huh. That's interesting.
It is. And 2 of them with 109 points. All right. Something else I see interesting here is this is going to be the 185th game, and the Nuggets have 85 wins in the series. The reason that stands out to me is because basketball with the alphabetic order is 85, and with the reverse alphabetic order, it's 185. So I'm wondering if Denver stays on the 85 wins in the 185th game.
And that would be their 6th loss in a row?
5th.
At home?
It'd be the 5th in a row.
5th in a row at home against the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's interesting.
Denver and Houston both equal 32. We're on the 32nd day of the year. All right, let's go over this. I'm gonna decode this, just see if we can find something that leads us to the promised land here.
All right, man.
All right, appreciate it. So this is really interesting. 109th day of the NBA season. Two of the last 4 wins with 109 points. Okay, let's get thorough here. Let's go James Harden. Go basketball reference. Let's see. Okay, James Harden. I want to see his just so everybody knows how to do this too. Are you guys watching what I'm doing? Just for people who are new and still learning this, if you go to Pro Basketball Reference, there's this tab that says More. You go to More, and then you come to Game Finder. Click Game Finder, and then there's all these variables you can search. But opponent, so you can see all of his games against the Denver Nuggets, and it's sorted by team name. So Nuggets. What went wrong there? What went wrong there? That should have loaded it. Why is there no results that match? Hold on. That should have worked. Is there something wrong here? Oh, look at that. There's 2 Nuggets. So there must be a glitch on their website. Let's see if this Nuggets one works. There it is. So if you remember that, for some reason, there's 2 Nuggets and one of them doesn't work. And then what you can do is in this win-loss column, you can sort. You just click the tab, and then it'll give you the wins in a row. So he has 21 wins, and he has 12 losses. So this is going to be his 34th game. His next loss will be his 13th. Of course, he is number 13. Today's date doesn't have the 13 connection. That means he can get his 22nd win on this date with 22 numerology, where basketball is 22. Get that 22nd win today. I want to see how James Harden's birthday lines up. I think he's got an August birthday. Let's see. August 26th. August 26, 2018. 159 days. That's Scottish, right? How about to his upcoming birthday? 206. If only he was playing in Seattle. Let me go out to Atlanta here. What's up, Atlanta?
Yeah, on this game right here, I looked ahead. Houston plays the Jazz next, and then if you look at Houston record, it's like if they win one, lose one, they'll be at the 3-2-2. And you know, Portland just with the 3-2-2 over the Jazz. So I don't know what this 3-2-2 thing going on, but you might can put it together.
Okay, that's a good observation. That's a good observation. When I think of Portland and Houston, I think of Clyde the Glide Drexler. That's a good observation. So let me think on that a second.
They can win tonight and lose tomorrow, or they gotta go 1-1, and they play Utah in Utah. And I noticed Portland just with the 3-2-2 over Utah.
Utah equals 22. So they could get. That's the thing about the Rockets right now. They could get their 22nd loss today on the 22-day numerology, or they could get it against Utah. I'm going to look at the Rockets and Utah head-to-head and what day they play.
Yeah, that might can give you a hint.
Right.
I feel like with the Rockets, like I said, the Spurs, all that NASA, that's the 3-2-2, that's that skull and bones, all that crazy stuff.
Right.
So that's why,
right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking the Rockets right there with the 3-2-2 too.
Okay, yeah, great observation. I'm going to check that out here. One more call. Thanks, caller. What's up, New York?
Hey, how's it going, Jack? This is Izzy.
Hey, what's up, man?
Something I noticed about that Denver game, the Houston on head-to-head have won the last 3, and notice they won by double digits. By the last one by 10 points in January, and then another one by 10 points in November. So they won the last 2 this season. And now you have Denver. They have on a 4-game winning streak. The last 4 games they won. So I'm leaning. If I were to lean, I would lean on Denver on the money line, and or just in case, I would tease the Rockets. If they're +4, I'll tease them +4 more, and I'll do it at +8 just in case.
Okay.
And that's all right.
I see your strategy. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to look at this Rockets and Jazz head-to-head. I just want to say this. Again, we see this pattern with 109 going on. It's the 109th day of the NBA season. 109 is the 29th prime. So the Rockets could stay at 29 wins and pick up their 22nd loss on a 22-date numerology. That's there too. You got to think Denver's going to end this slide at home against the Nuggets eventually. Or against the Rockets. But let's look at this Rockets-Utah coming up here. Rockets schedule. I want to see what day they play. The Jazz. Tomorrow. So it's tomorrow. And a little road trip here. So tomorrow will be a 2-2 date. Again, Utah's 22. Tomorrow will have 43-date numerology. As well as 16. As well as 23. Okay. All right, let's look at the Rockets and Jazz head-to-head real quick. Let's see. Do the Jazz play today? They do. If the Jazz got their 30th win today, they'd have a good chance to beat the Rockets tomorrow too, because Houston has Gematria 31. So Jazz very well could win today, get 30, and then pick up 31 against Houston. Easy to see that happening. Houston's on a road trip. They're pretty evenly matched teams right now. So let's think about that. If the Rockets You see how Utah's 14 and 22? 14 and 22. If the Rockets won today, they could get their 22nd loss and 14th away loss against Utah. So this is tough. This one is tough because the Rockets have done well. There's obviously something going on with 109 and the Rockets and Nuggets. Now they play on the 109th day of the season. I just hate that 109 is the 29th prime because it has me wondering if they stay there at 29. You know what else, though? Nuggets has the Gematria 30 in the most pure cipher, and the Rockets can get that 30th win. And it really, I mean, it is a tight – if the Rockets win today, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for them to lose to Utah tomorrow. Utah 22-14. So Rockets could become 30-21 and then lose to Utah and get that 30-22 thing, like what the caller from Atlanta was just saying about how we just saw that pattern with the Blazer game. So Rockets 59, the 17th prime. There's not a 17 on the board. We talked about how James Harden could get his 22nd win against Denver today on the 22 date numerology. Do this one more time. Rockets, Houston, Denver. It's a close call here, but it really does make a lot of sense for them to get the 22nd and overall loss and 14th away loss in Utah. That would be perfect. The 30th win against the Nuggets also makes sense. And really, the only things that I'm seeing riding in the Rockets and Nuggets favor. And remember, the other thing we talked about here is it's the 185th game. Basketball equals 185 as well as 85. So there's some rhyme and reason there for them to stay at 85 wins in the 185th game. Let me just check Denver, Colorado real quick. Denver CO. Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado is 151, the 36th prime. Denver's next wins their 36th. Let's see who Denver plays next. Let's look at their schedule. Maybe there's a team that has a good 36 alignment that they face after this. Timberwolves, they don't have it. That game is tomorrow, too. Oh, that game's on the road. All right, that's one more variable to consider, though. Denver, Colorado is 151, the 36th prime. Their next win is their 36th. They could get that at home, but it doesn't have to be that way. So let me check Pepsi Center, too, just to see if there's something in the stadium name. Sometimes there is. Pepsi Center's got the 159 like Houston Rockets. I think I got to favor the Rockets in this one. Let me go back out to the caller.
Hello?
Yeah?
Hey, just a quick observation on that Houston game. The head-to-head that you're talking about, you know, the 185 equals basketball, 85 equals basketball. If Houston wins, they'll have 100 wins.
Right.
And Denver will stay at 85. That's 185. And, you know, the head-to-head in Denver thing, like, that's really hard to ignore, especially with what you're talking about for tomorrow's game. That makes so much sense that Houston wins tonight and then goes to Utah and loses tomorrow.
Right. Right. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I'm favoring the Rockets. But again, the only thing that makes me nervous is the relationship with 109 and 29 because the Rockets are at 29 wins right now. So
Yeah, but don't you think that since the 109 plays heavy on the Houston side, and they're sitting on 29 wins, the 109th day, James Harden's record, his win streak against them, like that should favor Houston, don't you think?
Well, that's why I'm favoring Houston. I am, but it's the kind of game where I favor that. But if I'm wrong, I'll say, well, damn, I know where it's wrong. But more's lining up for the Rockets, so that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, appreciate it. So if Rockets do win today, we can feel confident about them losing to the Jazz tomorrow. That's the good news. Let me check. I see some stuff in the chat here. Rockets have won 9 in a row versus Nuggets. If they win 10 in a row, 10 has the gematria of 42. Today has the 42-date numerology. 10 also has gematria 39, and Nuggets, if you use the rule on S, is 39. Rockets have won 9 in a row versus Nuggets. Was that correct? I got to check that anyway. Is that how many it was? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it's true. Yeah, they could get 10 in a row. That's good observation. And 4 of them have been at home with the 109 thing, and here we are on the 109th day of the NBA season. Here, something we can do is we can see how long this streak goes back. There could be something interesting in the week count. So December 2nd, 2016. Let's do it real quick. December 2nd, 2016 to today. December 2nd, 2016. 113 weeks. The 30th prime. The National Basketball Association equals 113. 113 is the 30th prime. Nuggets equals 30. And the Rockets can get their 30th win. So I think I still favor the Rockets. Yeah, good observation. Yeah, so Dakota, the 22nd loss is something we're looking at. James Harden can also get his 22nd win against the Jazz. So that is one of the things that is on the Nuggets side, the potential 22nd loss. The Nuggets could stay at 22 home wins as well. So the Nuggets have a couple riddles on the board. The Rockets got more. And again, if the Rockets lose their next game, which is at Utah, they'll get their 22nd loss and 14th away. Utah's 22 and 14. And if the Jazz win tonight and tomorrow, they'll get their 31st win over Houston. Houston 31. So again, just in case you got here late, Grizzlies, Hornets, you can make an argument either way for these teams. I'd stay away. Celtics should get the 33rd win in New York, 33, but it's doesn't pay anything. Thunder can get that 16th win away over the Heat, 16. Oklahoma City Thunder's 101, the 26th prime. Heat can get their 26th loss. Jazz should pull out the W here, getting their 16th home win in their 53rd overall game, 53 the 16th prime. And this Rockets-Nuggets game is probably the most worthy pick of the night, even though, it's not Lock City by any means, but Rockets got a good narrative to upset Denver there. So let's go to the NHL. We've been having some good reads with the NHL this week. Let's see here. Oh, tonight they got some actual games going. All right. So we've been able to find a lot of games this week where the series alignment is the series alignment between the teams is real good with the date numerology. And let's see if that trend continues. Close some windows here. All right. Blackhawks head-to-head record. No, I don't want 2017-18. That's what I want. All right, Buffalo Sabres. It's going to be the 122nd game, and today's the 122nd day of the NHL season. And 54 to 53. Let's see. So you guys, I'm gonna go through these games quick and just see if we can find anything in the head-to-head. The extra thing to do here would be to run the city and team nickname Gematria. But I just want to see if we can find some series records like we've done this week. All right, Predators, Panthers. So this will be the 30th game. 13-12. So not there either. All right, Lightning Islanders. Let's see. Hold on. Somebody's texting, I think, from the chat. All right, let's see. Lightning Islanders. Where's New York? 100th game. Okay, so I see a 42 here. So this is what I'm looking for. 42. So that means the Lightning could potentially pick up their 42nd loss against the Islanders tonight. Is there anything with the date numerology? The Islanders would stay at 15 losses on a 15 date. The Lightning would pick up their 12th loss on a date that can be written 1/2, February 1st, the first day of the second month. 37 is the 12th prime. The only other thing to do here is just Islanders. Let's see. Okay. We've been 2 out of 3 on the average so far this week, which is around normal. I'd say it's probably overall around 70% going with the date numerology. So if this game pays out well, it might be worth the risk here. Islanders got some numbers to pull this. I imagine it's an upset with the Lightning being the better team. I'd run a little more. Hold on. Let's just see. Okay, actually, all right, hold on. There is a little danger here, though. They could get their 38th win over the Islanders. I'd do some more digging on that, but they do have the date numerology going in their favor for the series record. That 38th win over the Islanders, though, makes me a little bit apprehensive. Okay, Senators, Penguins. Let's check that out real quick. Senators, Pittsburgh Penguins. We don't have the date numerology connection there. It's going to be the 103rd game, the 27th prime. Penguins at 27 wins. I'm just trying to find right now just where we can get some a date numerology and a nice team alignment. Funny, all the games this week up to this day, you can see that the games that were scheduled this week were scheduled the way they were for a reason, because we just saw how it was hitting with almost every game. But here on the Friday where the majority of the league's playing, it's not this way today. All right, Flames, Capitals. '97th game, 25th prime. 45, 36. Yeah, they don't have it either. Shoot. Remember, you guys can take this further. You just got to decode, because you might find some games where there's a nice city or nickname alignment with the records. But I know you guys can do this too. And I'm trying to keep these podcasts to around an hour a day. So far this week, we've been going way over that. Because I'm telling you guys, I got a million other things to do too. But I know you can do this. All right, Maple Leafs, Red Wings. Wow, they played a lot of games. Wow, that is an old... Man, that's crazy how many games they've played. Okay, I don't see anything there, though, unfortunately, either. Golden Knights, Hurricanes. Let's check it out. Probably not going to be a lot of games here because the Golden Knights are this new team, right? Yeah. It is we do have a 3-date numerology though, and they could potentially get their third win, becoming 3-0. That's interesting. But then again, they could become 2-1 on February 1st, so you can't, yeah, they don't have enough of a track record to see anything there. But again, run that. If you're going to bet NHL, just run the city name and the Gematria, see if you can get some nice record alignment. Minnesota Wild and Dallas Stars. And I believe that the Minnesota Wild are the old Dallas Stars team, if I'm not mistaken. Huh. 73rd game, the 21st prime. Dallas is 113. Dallas equals 113, which is the 30th prime. Did the Minnesota Wild become the Dallas Stars? Or because if so, this could be a nice riddle right here. Minnesota North Stars are personalized. North Stars. They moved to Dallas in '93. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I thought there was some connection there. So it's interesting that they could make it 30-30 because Dallas is 113, the 30th prime, and these cities have connections. Minnesota would have to lose. So if Minnesota, well, either team could lose today and get the 22nd loss. Remember, Dallas is 22. Let's see if there's something with Wild and Stars. Wild's 21. Wild. Stars. I'm just wondering if that 30-30 thing could happen. Because again, Dallas is 113, the 30th prime. All right. Well, unfortunately, there wasn't any low-hanging fruit that screamed out right away, but there could still be something if you do decode these city and nicknames. Hold on. I'm just checking your comments here. Okay, so Mike asked about the weather. Mike, sometimes if you're in our football decodes, we'll point out how the weather report for the supposed game time temperature points to the outcome of the game. We did that recently with one of the playoff games. So sometimes in the NFL, the temperature they'll list for what the expected weather is points to the number we're looking at for the game. That's something to think about in terms of sports. I've also noticed living in Seattle on the 47th parallel, how often they report the temperature outside as being 47 degrees. It's like, really? Sometimes it'll be just 2 straight weeks. They'll report that every single day it's 47 degrees. And I'm thinking, is it really 47 degrees every day? So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they manipulate the numbers the way they report the weather. You guys, I think we did a good job decoding today. Unfortunately, it's not a great day of super strong picks. You know, there's not like a lot of parlay material out here. There's a lot of big spreads. And the game that's the seemingly the best pick in the NBA, the Rockets to upset the Nuggets, it's definitely not a lock, but there's good reason to believe the Rockets can beat the Nuggets. They got more riddles than the Nuggets do, that's for certain. The one scary thing, though, is them picking up their 22nd loss on the 22-date numerology. So, Hurricane Katrina made landfall on a date with 44 numerology, and the Saints won Super Bowl 44. So just think about that. The mayor there, Ray Nagin, he had a number of connections to 44 too, down in New Orleans. All right, you guys, before we wrap it up for today, here, you know what? Let's just go real quick through college basketball too. Let's just see if we can, let's take an extra minute, see if we can find something. Okay, so again, our numbers. 42, 15, 22. The date can be written 1/2 like 12 or 2/1 like 21. I see Michigan could potentially get their 21st win in their 22nd game. Seeing if anything screams out about the overall records. Oh, come on. What jumps out? Iowa, you guys, is 21 in our most pure cipher. A good team to get that 21st win against for Michigan. Michigan picking up 21 against Iowa. That has some rhyme and reason to it. And yeah. 10, they get their 10th win in the Big Ten. 10 has the connection to 42, like the date numerology. So does 9, though. 9 does as well, actually. So, but that 21st win over Iowa, that makes sense. Let's see what Bowling Green equals. Bowling Green, 131, the 32nd prime, 32nd day of the year. This game might be interesting just to see if there could be an upset narrative here. You guys want to do a little decoding just because there's 15 date numerology. Just the one thing that's got me wondering there. Maryland, Wisconsin. Here, let's take a second. Maryland college basketball head to head. Loss. Going to be the 13th game, and they're tied 6-6. Here, let's see. Maryland, Wisconsin, odd shark. Terrapins. Badgers. The one thing that does stand out is that Maryland can get their 9th win on this 42 date numerology, because 9 does have the relationship with 42. Let's see. Number 24, Wisconsin Badgers returns home for one game as they tip off against the number 21 Maryland Terrapins at the Kohl Center. These two teams met on January 14th. Maryland won 64-60. So it's been win one, lose one over the last 4 contests. They opened it at 131 points, the 32nd prime. Huh. Wisconsin Badgers 73, the 21st prime, 181, the 42nd prime, 251, the 54th prime. Oh, they both got the 251 thing. That's funny. Let's check out Kohl Center real quick. Kohl Center. Madison. Madison's got the 42 thing. There's no super strong indicators. The one thing is Wisconsin has a chance to stay at 15 wins on the 15 date. And Maryland, again, has the chance to pick up that 9th win in the Big Ten. 9 has the strong relationship with 42. 42 date numerology. And Madison was also 42 where the game's at. So a 21 seed playing on 2-1. It was a bad day for Russell Wilson in history. Berkeley sees that yesterday there was a Society of Jesus ritual with the Philadelphia teams, and both Philly teams winning in the NHL and NBA. Yeah, that's a great observation. He points out that yeah, the score. Yeah, nice work. Yeah, you guys can go a little bit extra thorough, decode those city and nicknames real good, but 5 has that gematria of 42 as well. If Maryland wins, notice they'll be 18-5. Basketball's 185. Big basketball program over the years. Just trying to think if there's anything to if you want to get real abstract, if Wisconsin lost, they'd be 15-7, like 157, which is the 37th prime, and then 37's the 12th prime, and the date can be written 1-2. Hold on, what was Madison, Wisconsin? Whoops. It is 74. So there's another thing that stands out. If Wisconsin lost, they'd be 7-4 in the Big Ten, losing in Madison, Wisconsin. So I think I'm favoring Maryland here to get this upset over Wisconsin. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Hey, I'm wondering, I don't know, I've missed chunks of the live feed, but did anybody catch the fact that Klay Thompson was a scratch and his jersey number is 11?
I was okay. I turned on the game at the end of the night. I just saw the very end, and I was wondering where Klay Thompson was on the court. So there you go. So they didn't get the 11th win in a row, and number 11's not on the court.
Yep, exactly.
Great
Crazy.
observation, man.
All right.
Thank you.
I thought that was kind of very ironic.
Yeah, and I think that was also part of the because okay. Last night was the first time I've ever seen the Warriors lose on the 108. And again, that's the geometry number, and Klay Thompson's full name equals 314 like pi, like how Steph Curry's born on March 14th, and pi's 11. So I think him not being on the court, huge signal. And did we know about that before the game that he wasn't going to play, or was that a game time decision?
Yeah, that's a good question. I heard on the radio. I think it was like literally right before the game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
It's crazy. Thanks, man.
Yeah, good work. Thank you.
All right.
Well, thanks to you guys in the chat. You guys had the good read on the Warriors getting beat yesterday, so most people won on that anyway. And again, Michigan can get that 21st win over Iowa. Maryland has some good numbers to pull this upset in Wisconsin, even though Odd Shark says otherwise. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to let you guys decode the rest. I'll be back tonight with the nightly live stream. And actually, before that, I'm going to be back with – oh, here we got another caller. Before my nightly live stream, I'm going to put up another Super Bowl 53 video. Caller.
Yes, this is again. Just real quick, Klay Thompson, I think he was a late scratch, quote unquote illness.
Huh. Well, we know why he really missed.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to do some decoding on that Buffalo Bowling Green game, there might be an upset there. So that might be a good one to look at too. Yeah, you guys, when the college basketball tournament rolls around, we'll be all over it. We'll go heavy on the college basketball tournament, no doubt about it. So we're going to keep doing this Monday through Friday. You know what? What the hell? We'll even do it on the weekend. Tomorrow, same time. Same time. We'll do it Saturday. I think I'm going to take Sunday off, unless there's something really great going on Sunday. But we'll do it Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, and we'll just do this until the end of time. So I don't know about that about Klay and LeBron. I don't know about that. Yeah, we're going to do some good work on the tournament. Last year I was busy Ubering everybody around. Last year I missed out on the tournament, but I remember Villanova got 33. What was it? Their third? Was it their third championship? A span of 33 years from the first one in '85, something like that. I think that's what it was. I'm gonna right after I log off here, I'm just gonna upload a video on the Super Bowl again. Everything I'm looking at for the Super Bowl. So I'm just gonna put that video up, and you guys can have a or what? You guys want me to do a live stream decode with the football? If you guys want me to do a live stream with the football decode, just press a 1 in the chat right now. And then I'll come back and I'll set up a live stream and we'll just do this. Cool man wants it. Hey, Miss Mildred, glad you're here. All right, that's enough ones. All right, I'm going to shut this down. Just so you guys know, I can't come back right away. I have to set it for a time 5 minutes in the future, so I'll set it for 11:30. Well, that's my time. I'm on the West Coast. So in about 10 minutes, the live stream will pop up, and we'll go through the Super Bowl. I think you guys already know what I'm picking, but we'll just look at everything again. All right, I'll be right back, you guys. Good luck tonight. Until next time.